Hello, everybody. I'm MoeMoe. Um, well, I think that beauty standards are different culturally or around the world. I have been to different places where their standard of beauty was different from what appears to be American standards of beauty. And I also believe that standards of beauty can change over time. Because I remember as I was when I was a little girl, it was different than what it is now. And so I believe that when you say standards of beauty, that also can be what they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So that also can be like per person or like a cultural thing. You know, we grew up here in America, where our standards of beauty may be different from somebody that grew up in China or Africa or Australia or something like that. You know, that's a good question. I remember when I was young, my dad made a comment about that because I didn't have on stockings to go to church. He was like, "Aren't you supposed to be wearing stockings?" But now that you say that, what's exactly the point of stockings? I don't know. That's, but maybe you know what? I have no idea. You should ask a much older person that because you know what? That's really never thought about. So I have no idea. When I was younger, I did. I'm in my 30s, but I would say in my 20s. Well, I could say in my 30s too, yes. Because every guy, every black guy I met, they were all about thick, this, big booty, that, every one of them. You know, I would hear them say certain things like, oh, if she ain't got a big butt, she ain't got me, you know, or she better be thick, or, you know, all kind of shit. So being as a woman who came from a slimmer body, I was made to feel like I was less than everybody else. And that was by the black community, mainly black men. Black women would always tell me I look good, but always black men had something negative to say. So yes, I have felt insecure and very, very insecure about my look due to the comments made from black males. No, no, back. I mean, I'm much mentally stronger now. I don't let it bother me. You know, I'm not concerned about all this rap music. You know, all this big booty, this big booty. I don't care. You know, let them like what they like. You know, I just don't care anymore. There's an old saying. It says the older you get, the less you give a damn. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but some people yeah, that could be towards any topic. Like at this age, I really don't care about anything, whether it's beauty or nothing. I mean, as long as I got money, pay my bills, I can eat, all of that. That's all I care about. I really don't care about absolutely nothing at this age, especially what some rapper saying in his song about what he like. I don't care about that at all. But yes, as a younger woman, I definitely felt the pressure to be thick with a big booty. Yes, and I mean, I think that it's the same as possibly our ancestors or people back in the old days. Back in the day, they was pressured to be thin, skinny. So I think they used to say like a size two. Skinny with big boobs, and that's how I was. I was like the skinny with big boobs type. But in the black community, or at least where I'm from, well, actually, I've been around the world, and it was the same with black men as far as other places I've been. Because I was in the military and I was a DoD contractor, so I've traveled a lot because of that, and it was pretty much the same with all black men. They always tell me that thick, they want this and big booty and all that. So yes, as a younger woman, I did feel a certain type of way because I did not look like that. But I don't. Yes, definitely. And that's why I specifically said black men, but that's like no offense to any black man. It's just that's my experience. But yes, I did consider dating outside of my race because of that, and I did date outside of my race because of that specifically. I don't want because I have dated guys, and they even though we were dating, they were putting me down. You're skinny, and then I told you I have a little tummy on me. When I gain weight, it goes to my stomach. So of course they was putting me down because I had a stomach. And basically, I wasn't thick with a big booty. So yeah, I got put down a lot by black men, and that caused me to want to date outside of my race because other races would tell me I look fit and in shape. Like, oh, she goes to the gym, she looks fit, she looks toned. Whereas black dudes, oh, you're skinny this, we don't like skinny women, or you don't look good and all that. So I would say that caused me to kind of date outside of my race because people outside of my race did make me feel more beautiful than the ones inside of my race. Oh Lord. No, that's not good. Do you have any viewers? Oh, they That's my hiking buddy. He said, "Be patient, Karen. He's working on it." I hear it
Okay, so
loud
from what I
and
can
Karen from
see,
both of
my
us.
microphone is working fine here.
But on commercial.
Paradise. Waikiki, aloha on my place. Ocean views, Pacific Ocean gates. Double rainbows got you comfortable. Your friends can ride it, they can roll the burn or two. This is for one or two, me and you. Trying to catch a feeling like a Pikachu. As I ask, you thinking about my past, I'm thinking about my future. That's why we never last. Business as usual. You say I'm a business. You can't bear to speak, and I can't bear to witness. This is major fitness. Ain't talking moving weight, I'm talking moving boulders. The tight shoulders create. Don't try to tell me how to tame your heart, girl. You just do you, I'ma play my part, girl. If it don't work, then we can stay apart,
all right.
girl. But I was made for you like Noah's Ark, girl.
Well, it does appear that one of the mics are working. At this point, all I can do is laugh because I have no idea what the hell is going on with this. I really don't.
I can't. Can you hear me?
I can definitely hear you, but now you can't hear me.
I can hear you.
You can or can't?
I can.
Okay. All right. Well, I can hear a weird echo, but we're just gonna let it ride. We're just gonna let it ride because right now I'm just irritated beyond belief. But we're just gonna keep the show moving right along, and I think that we kind of talked all we can talk on the beauties in the eye of the beholder topic, and I think that what we can agree on, and just correct me if I'm wrong. I think that what we can agree on is that we all have our own inherent ideas when it comes to what is beautiful. And it truly is in the eye of the beholder. What's beautiful to one might not be to another, but to that other, something else may be completely beautiful. And I think that changes as we grow and move through life. When I was young, oh yeah, I was one of those. Like you said, I wanted the girl with the big butt, the good skin, the quote unquote good hair, and we could have a whole conversation about that. But yeah, that was part of, I think, growing up where I grew up. People were kind of superficial in that way, just chasing what looked good to them instead of what was actually good for them. And I fell right into that. Fell right off into that same bullshit. So, aside from the technical issues and people not being able to hear what I had to say, they got to hear MoeMoe though. Which is all good by me. We'll move along to, and you got to help me out with this because I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. So this topic is about vacation to the friend zone. And maybe you can explain it a little bit better than I can about people basically doing things with another person the way they would a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wifey, or significant other, but they really have no intentions of moving the relationship forward. So maybe you can
And I think
hit that.
you said that it's happened to you. So you should speak on your experience a little bit because you said it happened to you before.
Well, my experience with it was, this person always wanted me to go out with her and, attend functions and all this kind of stuff as if I was her man. But she didn't want to move past that. She had no intentions ever of moving past that. And it just got to be very frustrating and, eventually I just walked away from it. So I don't get that, although I do recognize that there are people in the world that want someone they are comfortable with to do all those things with them, except for the sex part, the intimacy part. So basically, you're in a relationship with someone where there's zero intimacy. At least that's what I see. I don't know. Help me out.
Did you listen to that song I told you to listen to?
Damn it. No, I didn't.
You didn't do two things I asked you to do, but that's off the subject. You didn't contact the person I asked you to contact, and then you didn't listen to the song.
I'll contact them when I'm good and ready to contact them. But let's move on to the second part, the song. Don't worry about me contacting him. I got that.
I'm just saying it's two things I asked you nicely to do, and you didn't. But okay. Okay, I've never done that. However, my experience with that is more of a sexual type thing. Most guys want to have sex, but they don't want to be in a relationship. So I don't know if the two and two ties together or not, but that's my experience. It was more on the sexual side. It's like, yeah, I want to F you, but I don't want to be in a relationship with you. So, and that's pretty much it. As far as like us hanging out and stuff, some guys, they did want to hang out, but they still wanted the sex. I think it all boils down to people wanting to just have multiple people in their life. I think a lot of people don't want any type of commitment, but they'll say like, "Oh, we friends, but we're still going to have the relationship benefits." So basically, all that boils down to is they want to date other people too. That's what that sounds like to me. It's like, "Oh, I just want to have sex with you. We can hang out and stuff like that, but technically we're not in a relationship. That means I can do whatever I want to do. I can still see other women too, So that's what that sounds like to me. That sounds like the root of the tree, in my opinion.
I don't know though. That's actually a kind of an adult way to handle it if you know you're not ready to be involved with someone. Although you may be physically attracted to them, it might be better that the person was, upfront and honest and say, "Look, this is what I can do right now." Doesn't mean that it won't change, but right now this is where I'm at. Then that would at least allow the other person the opportunity to make a decision. Like, okay, am I cool with that or am I not cool with that? Because if I'm not cool with that, then I can just tell this person right now, that's not going to be enough. If you can't commit to me, then that's not going to be enough for me. I got to step away from it. Whereas another person might say, well, okay, I can rock with that for now. That might be all they need at that moment. So I kind of think that what you described is something that actually sounds more palatable than being deceived. Whereas a person makes, or they keep alluding to the possibility of a relationship with the things that they say and the moves that they make, but they really don't have any intention of having that with you at all. But they keep leaving crumbs as if they're going to have something with you. You know,
Well,
introducing you to certain
like-
people as their girlfriend or boyfriend, but not really doing anything about it.
Oh, I ain't never been. Well, it never got that far to me as nobody ever introduced anybody to me as their girlfriend, and then we weren't in a relationship. No, I've never had that. But I have had it to like where I was hanging out with dudes and they wanted to be sexual, but they didn't want no commitment. And like I said, that's the root of the tree. They just wanted to be a hoe. They just wanted to mess with a lot of different women. They wanted to get what they could out of me, and they just wanted other women too. That's why they didn't want a relationship, but they still wanted to do other things.
So
They want the benefits of the relationship, but they don't want to be in one.
So what about what I'm hearing where, you know, basically you take trips with this person, you know, and I don't know if they're treated. It sounds like they're treated. You know, they'll take you on vacation with them, you know, do all of the fun things that a couple would do if they went on vacation, but still not have any intentions of being in a romantic relationship with so but still allude to it. Like, you know, I have thought about it, but you know, so it's like they keep stringing a person along as long as they do things with them. Like they're afraid to fucking be alone or something. I don't know.
I would say that. I was like, sometimes it's just loneliness. Sometimes a person cannot be interested in you, but you're more of a convenience. They want to keep you around until they find somebody else. You know, it's like you may not be my type or nothing, but you're there, and I don't want to be lonely. So I'm just going to hang out with him until somebody I am interested in comes along. You know, so I felt like I think I've been used like that before too, because I've had guys tell me that I wasn't their type, yet they still wanted to do things. Like they still wanted to have sex, of course, or they would take me out. Like I've had dudes take me out to the movies and all of that stuff, and then they wanted sex and all of that. But then they would tell me I'm not their type. So it's like, what the hell are you doing? You know. But basically, it just boils down to a lot of people just want sex, or a lot of people just want to not be lonely. So they'll just hang out with them, keep what they got until they find what they want, basically.
Wow. That's crazy.
But out of that situation with the woman that you were involved with.
I mean, it's similar, but at the same time, it's like the way that I looked at it was, I am your friend, but I cannot do everything with you like I'm your husband. You know, you're sending me mixed signals that way. On the one hand, you want me to, you know, be the dude, and you're on my arm going to this function and that function, and you know, come with me here, come with me there. You know, I'm the dude you want to grind up on in the club. But when I'm ready to do a little bit more than just dance and grind, you hold up the friend side. So that's the kind of vacation friend zone stuff I'm talking about, where you basically misleading this person or having them hold on to the hope that there is going to be an actual relationship when you really don't have any intention at all of letting things go that far.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the same things I've been through. But mine was they did want sex. They wanted to hang out, but they did want sex too. So basically, they wanted all the benefits of a relationship, but they didn't want to be in a relationship. But I already know that goes back to them just wanting to be a whore. They just wanted to have a lot of women in their lives, or either I wasn't their type, so they wanted to kind of keep me around until they found somebody that was their type. They didn't want to be by themselves and stuff like that. So they just kind of wanted to keep me around until they found somebody that was their type. Or some of the guys, they were just hoes. They had a lot of different women. So, I mean, just being honest.
Just a whole.
Yeah. So it's like, basically they kind of want not to be committed to one woman. So, you know, but, yeah, that's like, it is in a way leading people on. And that's why, I do appreciate people when they are upfront and honest about what they're looking for or what they're not looking for, you know. Or some people, like if you ask them, if you meet somebody and you say, like, well, what exactly, say if you meet somebody on a dating app and you say, well, what are you looking for on here? Some people be like, well, let's just see what happens. Or I'm not looking for anything in particular. I just go with the flow and stuff like that. But some people are very direct. They were like, I want a relationship, I want a family, I want kids, you know. So everybody's different. And I do appreciate people's honesty. Remember I told you, I think it was last week's show. No, I think you and I were just talking. I've had guys write me on a dating app and they just said something like, yeah, me and my wife looking to have a threesome. You down or what? You know, like.
Yeah. Crazy.
But you know what? Yeah, but you know what? I appreciate the honesty. They didn't come in my life trying to lead me on, sell me a dream. You know, they just told me what they wanted, and that was it. And I appreciate that. I love a straightforward person because that's more respectable. If respectable is a word, but that's more of what I can respect. And then I met another guy on a dating app, told me he was homeless, he needed somewhere to stay. But you know,
damn.
You know, yeah. But I appreciate his honesty. He didn't come in my life trying to sweep me off my feet and all of that, knowing that he was just needing somewhere to stay. You know. He didn't come in my life doing all that. Because some people lie, you know, they sell your dreams, tell you everything you want to hear, knowing they just want to use you. They just need somewhere to stay. But this particular guy, he didn't do that. He straight up said, well, you know, I got a job, but I need somewhere to stay, you know. I don't know if he was asking me to come stay with me, but he mentioned it the first time we talked. So I'm assuming that he was asking to come stay with me because he said, I have a job, but I need somewhere to stay. So, but I did appreciate his honesty, you know. Since I've been led on before, I've been deceived before. I've had dudes act like they was going to give me the world and all they wanted was sex. And, you know, that's all they wanted was to have sex, but they act like we was going to be together forever, you know. So that's stuff like that makes me appreciate a person's honesty. But, you know, some people do lie. Some people may tell you that, oh, yeah, I want this, I want a long relationship, and they just want sex. So, sometimes you can't tell who's being honest and who's not. Anybody can say, I want a committed relationship and not be honest, or some people are. I've met guys, they were serious, you know. I had a dude one time and I told him, he told me he wanted a relationship and a kid. He said he wanted a wife and kids. And then we were talking, yeah, he wanted a family. And we were talking for a while and I don't know what, or I know what, maybe I was interested in somebody else. So I told this guy, I was like, well, you know, we could be friends and stuff. This dude almost cursed me out, like, seriously. He was like, well, you know, I want a family, you know, and I'm just like, dang, dude. So I was like, I guess he was serious, you know. Whereas I didn't think guys cared. Like, if you just say, I want a friend, like, we could just be friends or something like that. I didn't think guys cared. But there are some men that are serious. They really do want a family, you know. Because I've also had guys try to pressure me into having children, too. So they was like, when you going, you know, you going to have me a kid and all that. So, you know, people have different intentions on meeting you. But there are a lot of Decepticons out there.
Well, what do you be doing to these men? Girl, you going to have this, baby.
Yeah. So I think when I meet a guy, you're so silly. I think when I meet a guy, sometimes they just already know what they want. Because I met guys the first day I met them, and they was like, hey, I want another baby. Can you have one for me? Like the very first day I met them. I'm like, damn, dude, can we get to know each other? I don't just meet niggas and get pregnant. I mean, you
can I finish my mimosa first? Damn.
Yeah. Talk about that. First day I met them, I'm like, bro, can we even know each other last name? I mean, damn. I mean, you know, they were talking about moving in together, being married the first day I met them. So it's like, I think people just
moving at light speed. Wow.
Yeah. I think a lot of times, and when that type of stuff happens, I think a lot of times age has something to do with it. You know, especially when people turn the big antique old 30, people act like they're older than life at 30. I've met some people like that. You know, like, oh, I'm 30. It's time for me to pick out a casket. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just say that's how some people act. Like, I'm 30. You know, like life is over. You know, 30 is still young. By the way, 30 is still young. So, you know, I've met some. I think age has something to do with when a lot of times when people like. When they really want family, sometimes that come with the older, you know, 30 is technically to some people considered older, you know. So when that comes with the older crowd, you know, that's when guys are like in more of a hurry from what I have noticed. Now they claim that women do the same thing. I don't know. I've never dated a woman, but I've dated men that definitely did that. They was like, as soon as I met them, they were talking about getting married and having kids and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, I don't know about that. And And so basically, when you meet people, I think everybody just has their different intentions. And you just got to kind of handle it accordingly.
Okay, okay. I can definitely relate to that. And understand it to an extent. I think that people just got to be realistic and understand that although you might be ready for that, the next person might not be so ready for it. And I think that's why some dudes and even some women, people in general, wind up taking that vacation to the friend zone. Because one person's thinking one thing, other person's thinking something else. There's really no clear communication between the two, and bam, there you have it. All right. Well, we kind of got the show back on track. Never mind the earlier issues we had with the technical side of things. When you're doing it live, sometimes. But I want to take a brief pause for the calls, rock a video for everybody, and when we come back, we're wrapping it up with our last topic of the day. Is monogamy natural? What is the appeal of polyamory? We'll be right back.
And I be reckless. I don't think I need to mention. Don't mind fighting me right. You can be the bad guy. I don't reach out my heights. Don't mind fighting me right. You can be the bad guy. You can stop by your lies. But you love it when I wind my waist. Let me give you something tonight. Gotta lose it, I'ma this your case. Come and get your quick tonight. I need me attention. No need for suspension. Work in your direction. You know my intention. No more sending me flights. No more needing me right. Never no taking right. No more elegant vibes. I can't be your woman when you don't give me attention. I can't be your woman. I don't think I need to mention. But you love it when I wind my waist. Let me give you something tonight. Gotta lose it, I'ma this your case. Come and get your quick tonight. I need me attention. No need for suspension. Work in your direction. Sending me flights. You don't give me attention.
All right. And we are back inside the MoeMoe Da Don Show with your boy Shango Da Don and my beautiful co-host, MoeMoe. And we are coming to our last topic of the show. And we're kind of touching on it a little bit earlier in the last topic, but talking about, is monogamy normal or natural? And what is the real appeal behind polyamorous lifestyles? I'll let you head this one off.
You said polyamorous. So you want me to speak on polyamorous or just poly? Because that could be polygamy or polyamory.
Well, I think that right now in general society, polygamy and polyamory are a little more popular than they were
definitely.
before. It's not as taboo as it used to be.
Right. So it definitely has gotten popular. I think a lot more people are coming out with it. I ain't gonna say coming out with it. A lot of more people are more comfortable with it, and a lot of people are accepting it more. Especially men, because I'm seeing a lot more men saying that they are in a polyamorous relationship. Whereas I've heard some men say, "Oh man, a black man will never do that. You know, a black man will never be in a polyamorous relationship." And I'm like, well, one can only speak for oneself, because I am seeing more men saying that they are in polyamorous relationship. But of course, a lot of times when people are like in a polyamorous relationship, they're doing their own thing on the side too. So it's not about their woman possibly having multiple men or doing her thing. If that's the case, a lot of times the men are doing their thing on the side too, because I know some guys that are in polyamorous relationships and they, have tried to get with me as well. So, but I think that is definitely more acceptable these days, whereas some people may call it unorthodox or something like that, but it's a lot more acceptable. How do you feel about it?
Well, I mean, polyamory or the word poly in and of itself, I mean, you could be talking about a wide range of relationships, whether it's open marriages or swinging, as it's more commonly referred to, open relationships, monogamish relationships, where people, they come up with these agreements amongst themselves that I think follows what appeals to them more in their nature. A long time ago, a scholar told me that as far as the African American community is concerned, talking about black men in particular, that monogamy was never something that seemed very practical to us. Even in ancient African societies, there was no such thing as monogamy. Monogamy was a Christian construct, where there's supposed to be one man, one woman, the Bible, so on and so forth. That was a Christian construct. It was not something that was inherent to a lot of African societies way back in the day. It was normal to see a man with multiple wives, and normal to see a woman with, some women even with multiple husbands. I mean, look in the Bible. Yeah, look in the Bible. King Solomon had how many wives?
Exactly. And that's why I kind of feel like, I personally do feel like polygamy is more natural than monogamy. Now, I'm not saying I'm against monogamy, but I do feel like polygamy is more natural, because in the Western world, where we grew up, in America, a lot of us were raised on monogamy. But you go to some of these other countries and cultures, they were raised on polygamy, and it worked for them. And like you said, it goes back to the biblical days. So they probably over there laughing at us like, oh, snap, they can only marry one person. Look at them over there. We got some one. I would imagine they laughing at us because we can only marry one person and they can marry 4 or 5 women, So, yes, I do feel like polygamy is more natural than monogamy. And I don't see anything wrong with it as long as everybody is comfortable with it. If a man wants 5 wives and all those women are comfortable, then hey, more power to them. That's I wouldn't judge them and be like, oh, you ain't shit because you got 5 women or nothing like that. But if those women are comfortable with that, then hey, do what you do. Not everybody is happy with just one person.
But do
some people feel like
only civilized country that puts people in jail for being married multiple times?
I can believe that, because again, I've been to places where they did polygamy and it worked. It was normal. It was natural for them. So I do believe that again. I do believe polygamy or poly is more natural than monogamy. Now, monogamy is a beautiful thing. I do believe to only want one person or to only love one person, and you just absolutely don't want anyone else. Like I think that's beautiful. Like that's what I wish I had. You know, that's what a lot of people wish they had. I wish I had a man that just only had eyes for me. Like I don't want nobody else for her. Like that's very beautiful in my eyes. But some people may not consider it, you know, natural, especially for men. You know, they was like it's not natural for a man to just have one woman. And then I've heard of polygamy saving some couples' marriages. You know, some people say their marriage got bored. That's boring after a while. And they both was kind of like stepping out, creeping, cheating, all of that stuff. And so some people say, you know, a third party actually saved their marriage. They was like, we let another woman in and we saved our marriage that way. So I believe that people should do what works for them. You know, I don't think there's nothing in life that's just one size fit all. You know, everybody want a monogamous marriage. Everybody want a polygamous marriage. No, honey, everybody's not the same because it goes back to what you and I were discussing before. I have met men that said they don't want multiple women. They say they don't want to be bothered with that, you know, for their personal reasons. It could be money or it could be just the drama of having a lot of women. You know, they just like, I don't want to be bothered with all these different women, you know. So not every man will be down for that. You would think that's like every man's dream to have all these women, you know, or something like that. No, but no. I have met some guys that was like, nah, yeah, I don't want to deal with all that, you know. How you feel about it? Have you ever been in a polygamous relationship?
Don't want to be in one. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm dealing with one woman, one.
And that's how I feel too. Like, you know, I have met some guys. They was like, no, you know, I thought, and you know, I was one of the ones. I thought all men, you know, like, oh snap, they got multiple women. Like I thought all men were like that. And then I met the guys. They was like, no, I don't want to deal with no bunch of damn women, you know. So, I think that goes back to
about having a lot of women to choose from as far as being able to choose different sex partners.
Yeah.
A lot of men fantasize about that way. But as far as having a home full of women that are his. I don't know if you've ever been on an all-girl sports team or anything like that. You get a bunch of females in one house together. All those personalities, people on their cycle, different mentalities and mental health issues going on all at once under the same roof. That's a damn madhouse in the making. There's no way in the hell. When I was watching, I don't know if you watched it before when it was on VH1. The Flavor of Love, Flavor Flav.
2006.
They ran that poor damn man crazy.
He wanted it, so
exactly. Be careful what you wish for, because when you get it, it's something totally different. So even though I get where you're coming from, a lot of men say that. Oh, I wish I did have that. Wishing you had it and then having to deal with the reality of it, two totally different things. I have a hard enough time dealing with one woman at a time. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I mean, some people use polygamy or polyandry for different reasons. Like they may have one man or one woman to do a certain thing, or they may assign people to do a certain thing. Like this is my man, this is my main man, and this my side chick just to have sex with, and this my other woman to work for me. I don't know, or like the babysitter or something. You know, like I've heard of different things about polygamous relationships. Some people have roles. Like the couples that are accepting of it, say if it's 4 women in the house, they have different roles that they play. Well, I ain't gonna say that they play, but they do. One person may be the babysitter, one person may be, you know, one person is the main chick, and then you got one person that's, you know, I don't know, but people have, yeah, that might be the down ass chick or something like that. I mean, you never know. She might be moving some keys or something. I don't know, but you know, so people have different reasons for wanting certain relationships, you know, and then you got that ratio of
to do that. Think about it. If let's just say, for sake of argument, you have 4 men. You have all 4 of these men in your life. You know, now you're in the military, so you kind of understand what it means to, you know, delegate, direct, supervise, instruct, and counsel. but do that
But
on
okay.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, you got polyandry relationships, and they work out too. So I've seen, I watched a documentary or something. I don't know if it was India or it was some other country where it was like three brothers all married to one woman, and it worked out for them. Yeah, and they said in that country, and I don't remember what country, but they did look like they were from. I don't want to. No, I don't want to say because I don't want to. I don't want to be like, oh no, that's not true. I don't remember what country it was, but yeah, they were like three brothers, and they were all married to the same woman. Now they said in that country, men, or should I say, women outnumbered men. Now you don't see that often at all, but that could have been some little small something country. I forget what country it was, but in that particular country, they said men outnumbered women. So they had to share, and they was content with that. So they all lived in a household together, and they were totally content with sharing one woman. So I think that goes for us here in America as well. Women significantly outnumber men, and that's why I believe that poly relationships are becoming a lot more.
Well, I just consulted with Almighty Google over here. It says something about the plateau of Tibet. That's around a region shared by India, Nepal.
Yes, I said India, but I didn't want people to be like, "Oh no, that's not true," because I didn't do much research. But the people did look like they were from India. Yes, that's what I was going to say, India.
And it's
so,
that's a little bit closer to Hawaii. The Marquesas Islands.
Marquise, I never heard of that.
Marquesas. I hope I'm saying it right. Marquesas Islands in the South Pacific.
Yeah. So that documentary that I watched, they did look like they were from India, and I know India is like a huge place. So I don't know if it's just certain parts of India, but that's where they look like they were from. And yeah, they said that over there, men outnumbered. I think that's the most populous country, isn't it? India, or the second most populous? Because China is somewhere, then it's India, right?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't want to speak without really knowing, but
yeah.
I know it's a lot of damn people in India.
Yeah, exactly. I think they were saying from the documentary I was looking at, so wherever that was, they did say that men outnumber women, so they had no issue sharing. And you know, what people will tolerate is just different. What I may be down to tolerate, you may not. What you may be down to tolerate, I may not. I've actually have been down for an open relationship before. And, you know, of course, that's considered unorthodox and all that shit. But I say I'm going to do what makes me happy at the end of the day. You know, after some years, your relationship might need a little boost or a little something. You know, do what works for you.
Now, see, the old country dude in me comes up on that. I would say buy a dog. You're lonely, buy a damn dog. You know, get some goldfish. Learn how to crochet. Learn how to do a puzzle. Don't, because I used to hear. I'm hearing my mama's voice talk to my sisters. Don't never let another woman in your house, because she will fuck your man. Never bring another woman into your house.
But honey, you gotta understand, as what we were saying, as far as what goes back to the beginning of time and what works in other countries and other cultures and what is working for.
Of course.
Polygamy works for a lot of people, and polyandry. So I keep saying you have to do what makes you happy. Maybe a woman don't mind another woman fucking her man. You know, some people don't mind sharing at all. Like, I have met men that said that they don't mind if they woman cheat, and I've met women that said they don't care if they man cheat. So I mean, you know, everybody is different. You can't just say one thing is going to work for everybody. You know, I got friends right now, they want that three-way relationship. They want a man and another woman. So, you know, I've even heard someone that say that they need help around the house. They may have, you know, 4 or 5 kids, and they want a sister wife to help around the house, you know. So people have different reasons for doing different things. And that's why I think that poly is becoming a lot more acceptable. And plus the rise of social media, you know, with social media and people are hearing other people's stories about how it's working for them and stuff like that is influencing.
Do you watch that show, Sister Wives?
I do not.
It's
But
on TLC, I believe. And it's basically about people in polyamorous relationships.
oh, okay.
Yep. Yep.
So basically, I think that people are finding ways for it to work. And I've also heard people just recently say with inflation, the cost of living, some people are saying that that's what we need. They
Got a
was like,
point. Got a
we
point.
should have poly relationships because it takes a poly relationship to buy a house. Like a lot of families cannot afford housing. So some people are saying, well, perhaps we need to be open to poly relationships to be able to afford housing for our families. So
I
again,
think. I
it just
think.
goes back.
Go ahead. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, you have to all these different reasons. People have their own personal reasons for doing things, and we're not to judge others. Therefore, I do not. People should do what works for them.
I think that we're all about to be on a worldwide diet plan. If the goddamn food prices don't come down, because I can't afford the food that I like to eat. So I don't know if that means getting another woman. Like, okay, you buy the red meat. You get the vegetables, and you get the condiments.
And that's what some families are doing. That's what they're using poly for. Everybody have their own role. That's what I said earlier. So but a lot of people are growing food too. A lot of people are saying they're growing their own fruits and vegetables. And a lot of I've met people that were hunters. I mean, you can't do much hunting in Hawaii, but some people go out there and get their own meat. They was like, well, shit, I go out there and get my own. I'm a hunter, and that's good. Or fishing. People that know how to survive off the land. You go fishing, you go hunting, you grow your own vegetables. I think that's a very, very valuable skill to have. To know how to fish or hunt.
So it sounds like part of living this polyamorous lifestyle is understand what each person has to bring to the table. Like one person may be great with finance. The other person may be great with homemaking. And the other person may be great with spiritual counseling and shit like that. So I can see that.
Well, yeah, that's what I have heard. That's what I have heard with some families. I'm not saying that works with everybody. That's what everyone is doing. I'm not saying that. I said that's what I have heard with some families, that everybody has a role. One person may be the babysitter, the other one may be the cook, the other one may be the cleaning person. So I heard of stuff like that, and it works for them. So
So why do you think?
Yeah, people are.
So why do you think the polyamorous marriages aren't recognized by our government?
I don't know. Well, how do you feel about that?
Well, if we understand, what the institution of marriage was put in place for, from the jump, it was about land and property ownership. So if you look at it now, whereas if you get married today, everything that you and your husband accumulate in your marriage is considered community property within that relationship. That's why when the divorces happen, somebody won't half of this and somebody won't half of that. So what I'm thinking, I'm not no expert, but what I'm thinking is that in a polyamorous marriage, if you have one man with 4 wives or one woman with 3 husbands, if someone wants to leave that relationship, it basically creates a legal quagmire for the court, trying to figure out who gets what and how much of a percentage is fair amongst all the parties. Because if only one wants to leave and the other 2 want to stay, they got to figure out, okay, out of all the shit that we got between all 4 of us, we got to figure out what equals 1/4 of the value of all of this for you. Same as if a man has 4 wives. If one wants to leave, they got to figure that out. What is 1/5 of everything that we got? Because that's what you got to give her. So that's what's equity. So.
Well, I'm pretty sure there are things in place because again, it works in other countries. This has been going on since the beginning of time. So this has been going on before us, before our generation. Probably been going on since the biblical days. So I'm pretty sure we can, ask other countries and other culture, hey, how do y'all handle this legally, when it comes to the legal aspects of it, because I'm sure they have systems that work because this is their way of life.
Maybe we should get a polyamorous couple. I don't even think we call it a couple. It's pilot. But we should maybe we should find somebody who's kind of living that right now in Hawaii. Try to get them on the show. What you think?
I think they call it thruple or thruple. Thruple or thruple. That's what I've heard. You can Google that word, thruple or thruple, something like that.
What?
Throuple. Try that. I think that's like a threesome. Throuple.
A thruple.
Yeah, that's what I said. A thruple or a thruple. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Is it thruple or thruple? We got to figure that out.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's what they call it. But I have heard some people say three-way relationship too. Three-way relationship.
Wow.
So people just have their reasons, you know. Some women, and it goes back to also some people are just bisexual. They want both. Some women want the man and the woman, and some men want the man and the woman. I mean, it's all about what you want and what you desire and stuff like that. Who you are as a person.
Could you do it? Right
Could I do?
Right now today. Could you do it?
You know what? I actually thought about it. I have. I just thought about it. That's all I said. I have thought about it because of the ratio of women to men, and everywhere I go, I see a bunch of females. So I'm not going to thought about it because I have. And there were guys that I have been interested in the past, and they wanted me too. And these were very good-looking men, and they wanted me just as much as I wanted them. I mean, technically, I have dated some married guys. I did not know they were married. I don't disrespect people's relationship or marriages. Like, I ain't gonna be no, like, little creasing ass side chick, you know, that you gotta worry about and all that. I ain't that type of person. But I have dated some men that I did not know they were married, and I found out that they were. And by that time that I found out, I already did have feelings for them. And I could tell that they were feeling me too. So there were times like that when I thought about it because I did really want the guy. And the guy appeared that he really wanted me. Even guys that were like flirting with me that were married, which is all of them. Pretty much every dude I meet that's flirting is married. And there were guys that I was like, man, damn, he fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he seemed like a nice guy. Like, I've met guys, they seem real, you know, cool, respectful and stuff like that. And I'm like, you know, this seemed like a good man right here, but he's married. It's like, dang, you know. So I have thought about it. I've never actually done it, but yes, I have thought about it.
I can't do it. My patience is too short. My patience is way too short. I can't do it. I'll be in jail.
But if I was to do that, I would also have my thing on the side. I think we discussed that last show. I wouldn't be committed to a married man. Even if I am the accepted side chick, meaning the wife would have to accept me, I would also have my thing on the side. Basically, they are still married, so I'm not going to be loyal and committed to a man that got another woman. I would also be having something on the side, too.
I can't do it. I'm serious. I can't do it, man. I don't have that kind of patience. When you used to dealing with one person and you kind of feel like you've gotten to a place where you've learned them, you kind of know them inside and out like a book. That's a level of comfort right there. To have to try to do that with 2 or 3 others, hell no. I can't do it.
So you can never met, and maybe I shouldn't be asking you this because you got a woman, but sometimes when you're married or in a committed relationship, I mean, there are always going to be other people that you are attracted to, you know. Some people are just...
that's human nature.
Yeah, some people are totally irresistible. I know one time I had a job and this guy came up to my job and it was like that. Like, this guy, I was looking at him like, God damn, he fine, you know. And he seemed like a nice, respectable guy. He was calling me ma'am and stuff like, yes, ma'am, you know. But he was in the military, so he probably was doing that due to some military stuff. But I don't know. But he didn't seem like a jerk or nothing like that because I am used to jerks. So he seemed like a nice, respectable guy, and he was very, very attractive. And I think that's the first time I ever considered it. I didn't do it, but I was like, I don't know. Like, if this guy was to try to talk to me, I don't know. We might have to work something out.
We might have to.
Yeah, like, we might have to work. This dude fine fine as hell, and he seemed like he respected. I'm like shit, but nah, he didn't make any moves. Plus, he was kind of on the job, you know. So, but I think that's what really made me think about Polly being in one, because it was like, I think that if he would have made a move on me, I would have really, really thought about it and considered it, because he was what I would be considered irresistible. Like, he was just that attractive to me. Plus, I liked his personality.
Well, I agree with you that it does seem to be gaining momentum as far as its popularity goes, and it just boils down to exactly what we talked about. To each his own. It's going to be the solution for some folks. For others, it may not. But I think that in the words of the great Malcolm X, you should know as much as you can about a thing before you decide to join. So do your research, folks. Do your research. And that brings us to the 8 o'clock hour. And that's going to do it for us on this edition of the MoeMoe Da Don Show. You should catch us right here next week, 6:30 p.m. And I promise everything will work. MoeMoe, close us out.
All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Be blessed.
Be safe, be blessed, and stay healthy. See y'all next week.